So today we have another Colleen update. I know I said I wouldn't really be doing Colleen updates anymore because I didn't think anything was going to happen, and then now we have people speaking out against Colleen again. Well, no, we actually have people defending Colleen, so we're having to talk about Colleen again. But subscribe with the bell, like, comment for engagement, and let's just get into it. So recently, is that your tail popping off? You're gonna break your tail, Muffin. You're bringing me a toy. Thank you so much. Emotional support dog will always emotionally support. So recently JoJo Siwa went on the Howie Mandel show to discuss a few different things, but one clip came out of it where she discusses Colleen Ballinger. First, she kind of diminishes the whole thing to just be a cancel culture thing. Oh, she's like, yeah, no, it's just cancel culture. Like, that's just what it is. She's a comedian and some jokes just didn't land.
I think the work that Colleen has done for the internet is incredible. I think her creativity is incredible. Miranda Sings is a character, is a comedian, and I think that it's very hard to be a character where people are also looking at you as you're a real human behind that character. And I think being a comedian is very hard because you were able to do things years ago that were okay, and now that we've grown and we've matured, we've realized that they're not okay. You know what I mean?
Which is just such a dismissive way to talk about the whole thing, because we know that's not what it was and that's not what it is. And it's just like the fact that I'm being attacked brutally here. I am not the main character of this show at all, actually. The, I guess, ironic part of this whole thing is that Colleen was obviously cancelled for inappropriate behaviour towards minors, and here is another person who was most definitely a minor when Colleen befriended them.
I would imagine if you're friends with her, you kind of met her when you were young.
I was 12 when I met her. And she's always been nothing but kind to me. Her family, nothing but kind to me. I think it's really, this is the first time that I've talked about this, so I just want to make sure I say my exact piece that I want to say. The internet can take a lie and run so far with it, so far that it's to the point where you just can't do anything about it.
And now they are the spokesperson for Colleen, and I bet Colleen is, telling JoJo, oh, this is all lies, they're all just, like, don't listen to them, none of this is true, none of this is real. And it's just like, it's just a shame to watch another person be manipulated or groomed into believing a certain thing. Grooming doesn't always have to be sexual, but just groomed into being the spokesperson for Colleen. Now, there are some inappropriate things. For example, Colleen showed JoJo her uncensored, birthing vlog.
I'm really afraid they're gonna flash something. I apologize.
I'm same, a little terrified of it, but we're just breathing.
What's playing? Right there, she's so cute.
She got off her phone.
It's Pentatonics Christmas. That's what played.
I love a Pentatonics Christmas.
I should have JoJo Siwa. I should have DREAM.
DREAM. You can do it if you see it. If you see it, you can be it. You believe it. You achieve it. You
DREAM. Is he coming? Is this it?
When does he come?
I think he's coming now.
When's the... Oh, wait, pause. What was that?
I did not know that happened.
And also JoJo has had videos before where she's discussing sex and sexual things with Colleen's sister. So okay, there's that weird dynamic there as well, which isn't great.
I just took a DNA test. I'm 100% that B word.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, because there's a minor here.
Yeah, but also, yeah, sure.
Oh, is that what it said?
No, I just don't swear on my podcast.
Oh, we got to stay monetized.
Yeah.
Love her.
So it's nothing to do with you, you little minor.
Thank you. Thank you. I got so upset at Rachel the other day because she pulled the minor card.
Because what did I said I wouldn't, I don't remember what I even said.
I don't know, but it was because you're a kid. And I was like, Rachel?
I was like, when you're 18, we'll cuddle or something. Okay, well, hold on. You're gonna gloss over this? That you told JoJo Siwa, when you're 18, we'll cuddle? Is this the new scandal of 2019?
No, that's what we're trying to avoid.
It was completely
So you just have to explain a little more, because now in my head, JoJo said, Rachel, can we please cuddle? And Rachel said, not until you're 18. And now I'm imagining the future on your 18th birthday, you guys cuddling.
This is what I was trying to avoid.
No.
scandal. You heard it here first.
We were talking about my 18th birthday.
And Rachel's going to cuddle you for your 18th birthday. That's my present. What do I get the girl that has everything? A cuddle. No, we were in the Ralph's parking lot. Okay, it's not, you're not helping your case.
I just feel like even if you don't believe some things, like there's just so much proof for other things. There's messages, there's even Trish coming out and saying like, Colleen came to me to tell me that she wasn't the one sending the not safe for work stuff around, but then, you know, we all found out in the end that Colleen was in fact sending Trisha Paytas' not safe for work stuff to minors, and that's kind of like been proven now. So there's just so much stuff where like if you believe one thing, you can kind of believe all the other stuff because we have proof for most of it. So to lie about like 1% wouldn't make sense. And Trisha Paytas has now spoken out about JoJo on her main channel, just basically discussed the whole thing, just how disappointed she is. Main channel, she addressed it in pretty much the same reasonable way that she addressed Colleen in the first video that she did. I remember, you know, when everyone was just so impressed that Trisha's able to be so calm now about things.
Lies. Colleen herself has admitted to having very inappropriate text conversations with her fans that were underage. She's admitted to this. JoJo later goes on to talk about her own friendship with Colleen. Any adult, 18 plus, but when you're 25 plus, 30 plus, in her 30s, having friendships with 14-year-olds who admire her, and as JoJo later on says, she idolizes her. This power dynamic, that is grooming. Grooming is when you can manipulate someone because you know there's a power struggle, there's an age gap, you know more, there's an idolization, they're not want to go against their idol. This is not lies. She sent my nudes to a fan, emailed me apologizing for them. There's her friend that's not even online holding it. Like she's very sick. This has been established. This has been proven.
And I was actually waiting a little bit because she did address JoJo and Colleen in her recent podcast episode, where she discusses, thank you, Phoebe, I really appreciate it, where she basically discussed how, they were trying to tiptoe around it because it's always difficult to accuse someone almost of being a victim themselves if they don't feel like a victim. But, you know, they did discuss how this feels like Colleen has manipulated and groomed another minor to be the spokesperson for her to do whatever she says and, you know, be on her side the whole time, even when she is wrong. And JoJo might look back on this in a few years' time and have the same realizations that all the other minors have had.
Like, I think as she gets older, maybe she'll, like, learn stuff.
For sure.
know?
I think when you're, like, 30, 40, like, you see child stars now that are, like, 35 or whatever, it's just a different perspective when you have a different life perspective and you're like, oh, like, because it probably is fun. Like, and she does seem like she's having fun, and I probably would have loved it, too. It's like, but there is something about, like, having a child work so much, and it's like, I don't know, it's like, I get it, like, it is fun and exciting, and like, it's better than maybe you don't want to go to college or something, but I don't know, it's like, the JoJo thing is tough, and it's like sad, and I think the situation, I was just like, I was shocked that she even like, that was the take. I was like, whoa.
Or maybe she'll be fine. I mean, who knows? I don't know. And they did spill some more tea on Colleen. Like, for example, when they were starting the podcast, and even, you know, while they were friendly, Colleen would talk about how she's always getting cancelled on Reddit, and everyone hates her because she's, like, problematic. Like, everyone's trying to find issues with her. And when they started the podcast, she was like, oh, you know, we'll get cancelled one day. Oh, we're going to get cancelled. And Trish kept on feeling like that was a dig at Trish. Like, oh, you're going to get us cancelled because you have such a problematic past. And, I mean, Colleen was saying all that fully well knowing what is behind the, like, curtain, like, what she has done.
I had no idea she was problematic. And like, I feel like for me, I'm like overly telling people like, oh my God, I'm like, you know, there's this and this in my past or whatever. But she didn't tell me like any of that stuff, which I thought was like weird. She was concerned like going to her podcast people because they didn't want to lose ads because of me. But she's acting like I was the problematic one. And I was just like, girl, you knew all this. But she always said like, we're going to get canceled. I'm going to get canceled. Like it's going to right? Like, I mean, it always was very much that. And I was like so confused. Like from even the first episode, are we canceled? Are we canceled?
Right.
Like,
Are we
I was
canceled
like,
yet or something?
And I was like, girl, what did you do in your past that you're so, because I'm a pretty cancelable person. And I was just like, we're fine. We're not doing anything wrong. Meanwhile, all this shit.
So I'm assuming she was kind of like talking about herself. Like she was kind of like almost prepping for the fact that she was going to get cancelled at some point. She was going to get Trish cancelled. But like, don't you think that if you knew that there's all this stuff about you, you would at least acknowledge it with the person who is somewhat dragged into this drama. So like, you'd think that she'd come to Trisha and say like, hey, by the way, at some point in time, you might find out about like some stuff that I said about you or sent around about you, and I'm just so sorry. And like, I feel like that would have gone a long way, instead of even when you get exposed, still lying to the person's face. And apparently when all of this started happening, like all the drama started breaking down, Colleen started like obsessively messaging Trish, being like, oh my god, are we still friends? Are we still friends? Like, don't believe any of this. This is all lies. And I feel like that is like telltale. Well, either that is someone who has like an anxious attachment style and might not even be in the wrong, but just has an anxious attachment style, or it's someone that is super defensive and like knows that they're in the wrong. And yeah, we know which one it was. It was obviously the second one. So yeah, I'm just kind of like surprised this is still going on, but it's still going on. And yeah, so that's kind of everything for now. If anything else happens, obviously I'll let you guys know, but let me know what you guys think. Subscribe, hit that bell, like, comment for engagement, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.